Chapter 3. Hey, Leah, wait up. Leah turned to see Cherry Prater, a girl from her English class, coming toward her down the hall. While they weren't exactly best buddies, Sherry was friendly and energetic, and Leah liked her. Sherry was overweight and therefore not on the social A-list. This suited Leah just fine. Leah had been with the in crowd at her former high school and thought the distinction highly overrated. "What's up?" she asked the out-of-breath Sherry. "I was wondering if you're going to the football game Friday night. I thought we might hook up and sit together." "I forgot about the game." Sherry stared at Leah as if she were speaking a foreign language. "This game's against Henderson. They're our biggest rival. Everybody's going." "My stepfather's not well," Leah said. "He's in the hospital. In fact, Neil had been in the hospital for the better part of the week." "I didn't know." Sherry's brown eyes filled with concern. "Is he going to be all right?" "I don't know yet. He's going through some tests." "That's too bad. When you find out what's wrong, will you tell me?" Leah agreed. "As for the game, I'll let you know if I decide to go." Sherry looked pleased. "It's not just because everybody's going that I want to go," she confided. It is because of Dave Simmons." Her eyes took on a soft look. "I think he's so gorgeous." Dave was Johnson's High's primary football star. Leah thought him conceited, vain, and even cruel. One boy had been sent to the hospital after Dave had crushed him during a game. The next day Dave had bragged about it. "You really like him?" Leah asked. Sherry nodded. "Of course, he'll never notice me, but it's nice to dream." "I know what you mean," Leah said, thinking of Ethan. "You've got a guy?" "He doesn't live around here." "A long-distance romance?" Leah chuckled over Sherry's dreamy expression. "Actually, he's Amish." Sherry's jaw dropped. "Are you kidding? The Amish keep to themselves. How do you even find each other?" "It's a long story." Leah realized she'd said more than she meant to. "Listen, I've got to run." She waved goodbye and hurried out to her car in the student parking lot. The October air smelled crisp and clean, and the sky was a brilliant blue. Yet she felt sad and lonely. Mentioning Ethan had only made her miss him more. She had no idea when she'd see him again. Still, he had promised he would come see her, and Ethan always kept his word. Right now his promise was the only bright spot in her life. When Leah got to Neil's hospital room, her mother was there, as was Neil's oncologist, Dr. McDaniel. She was a young, petite Asian woman with black hair held against the nape of her neck by an eye-catching silver barrette. Neil said, "Doctor, this is my daughter Leah." His introduction surprised Leah. He called her his daughter? Dr. McDaniel smiled in acknowledgement. "I've just been going over your father's test results." Leah's eyes caught Neil's eyes. The transition had been made. Without ceremony, she'd officially passed from step into daughter status. She wasn't sure how she felt about it. At the moment, she didn't have time to dwell on it, because Dr. McDaniel was continuing to talk. "There is evidence of cancer in your liver, Mr. Dutton." The words fell like heavy weights. Leah's mother cried no. Leah felt sick to her stomach. "Everything points to it. Abdominal bloating, the tenderness in that area when I examined you, your jaundice, plus the radioisotope scan and the needle biopsy. The pathologist's report shows a clear grouping of cancerous cells." "I don't believe it," Leah's mother blurted out. "I wouldn't make this up, Mrs. Dutton," the doctor said. Neil took his wife's hand. "It'll be all right, Roberta." Leah saw tears fill her mother's eyes, and her knuckles grow white as she gripped the bed rail. Her mother said, "But they took out his bad kidney years ago. How could he have cancer in his liver now?" "Some maverick cells escape surgery and chemo. It happens. The cells get into the bloodstream and travel down the portal vein and metastasize in the liver. They can lie dormant then activate." Neil cleared his throat. "All right, that's the worst of it. What are we going to do about it?" "Chemotherapy is a standard treatment procedure." Neil winced. "It didn't work before. How about radiation?" "Unfortunately, radiation is very destructive to liver cells and not very harmful to liver cancer cells." "What about surgery?" Leah's mother asked. "Not an option in Neil's case." "I hate chemo," Neil said sullenly. Dr. McDaniel put her hand on Neil's arm. "We have made improvements in the drugs since you went through it before. The side effects can be much less horrific. I'm going to do a minor surgical procedure to insert a shunt into your abdomen. You'll wear an infusion pump, and the chemo will be administered automatically in small amounts, 24 hours a day." "When do I start?" "I want to begin treatment at once." "Will it work this time?" Roberta's question sounded hostile and accusatory, as if Dr. McDaniel was somehow to blame for Neil's diagnosis. Second chemo protocols aren't always as successful as the first, Dr. McDaniel said cautiously, but it's still your best hope. Leah let her words sink in. By the time she grasped the full meaning, Dr. McDaniel was talking again. I'm scheduling you for surgery tomorrow morning. I'll get the shunt in and get you regulated. You should be headed home in a couple of days. Then what? Then we wait it out, keep testing you for progress, and see what happens. Leah, Neil, and her mother all looked into each other's eyes. No one asked about the obvious. What happens if it doesn't work? Leah went home alone, leaving her mother and Neil to have dinner together in his hospital room. They had asked her to stay, but she excused herself, saying she had homework. In truth, she couldn't stand hanging around the hospital one more minute. At home, she brought in the mail and found a letter from Ethan. Eagerly, she tore open the letter. Dear Leah, I just got your letter, and I am writing you right away. I am sick inside my heart about your stepfather's illness. I have also told Charity, and together we will pray for him, and for you and your mother. I also miss you, Leah, and I, too, think of our summer with each other. Your smile is always before me, inside my head, making my heart glad. On weekends I still dress English and go into town to be with my friends, except it is not nearly so much fun as when you lived in town. I passed by the apartment building where you lived, and I want to run up and pound on the door and have you open it and let me inside. But you are not here, no matter how hard I wish for it. We miss Rebecca very much. Ma cries sometimes when she thinks no one sees her. She and Oma and Charity go to the cemetery some afternoons just to be with Rebecca, even though we know her spirit is with God and only her body lies under the ground. I fear that Pa and I are not getting along very well. He wants me to return to church and stop running with that wild bunch, as he calls my friends. I tell him over and over that I am not yet ready, but it only makes him angry. It is good that we have so much work to do on the farm to prepare for winter. Hard work keeps us too tired to argue. Sarah had her baby, a little boy they named Josiah Kristen. He is very handsome. I like being an uncle. When he grows up, I will tell him of his Aunt Rebecca. She would have loved him, like a little doll. I must close now, for it is late and my lamp is burning low. Thank you for your letters, Leah. They make my days happier. I keep the picture of you in my pocket next to my heart. Ethan. P.S. Charity says that I am to tell you hello. Hello. Leah finished reading her letter through her tear-filled eyes. The ache within her was so real, she was certain it would ooze through her skin and onto the paper. She reread the letter, then pressed it against her cheek, imagining the paper in Ethan's hands touching his skin. Leah had returned from summer believing that with Rebecca's death the worst was over, and that there was no place to go but up. But now Neil had been diagnosed with liver cancer, and her mother was falling apart. Leah and Ethan were miles away from each other. She still had to face future checkups for her own health, which she now realized was a total unknown. What about me, Leah wondered. Will I get sick again too? Like Neil, Leah had convinced herself that cancer was behind her, that either Gabriella had made it disappear or the chemo treatments had succeeded. Like Neil, Leah thought she was home free, but Neil's cancer had returned like an evil ghost, and now he had to begin his fight against it all over again. Leah vowed to help him however she could. They were comrades in a battle against a mutual enemy. She lost her real father without ever knowing him. She didn't want to lose this one.